This meeting is being recorded.
Yes, Shubha ma'am, now I think 1K participants, full. We can start on time.
Yes. It's my pleasant duty to bid you all a genial welcome. Inculcating creativity and thinking skills in the early years. The session is about how important the early years are and why it is important that creativity should be used to teach children concepts and how an environment should be provided for children's thinking skills. It is important that we understand the early years as little individuals and provide them an environment where they learn through exploration and understanding. I am Shubha. I am the moderator for the day. I'm a certified master NLP practitioner and a member of National Federation for Neuro-Linguistic Programming, Florida, USA. I'm a corporate and a behavioral trainer and a language coach with relevant industry experience of 18 years. I'm also a master trainer for the teaching fraternity, and I train teachers on attitude, skills, and knowledge and best global practices for them to transform from a teacher to a proficient facilitator. Here, your hearty and a warm welcome to Dr. Abdul Salam. He is the General Secretary of CBSE Bharat Sahodaya Complex, CBSE Resource Person, and CBSE Deputy Training Coordinator of Trivandrum Region. He is a proactive educator who has served 22 years in the education field. Additionally, he is a certified HR professional. His work experience ranges from India and Maldives to UAE. It's a great pleasure to have him here. Sir, we request you for a welcome speech.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Shubha. Respected President of Bharat Sahodaya, Mr. Shibu, Honorable Chief Guest of the Day, Ms. Anila Mechur, most esteemed resource person of this 47th session, Ms. Manchula Srikumar, dear participants, all the educators on board, all the members of my team, I wish you a healthy evening. We are here on the 47th session platform. Let me once again congratulate and appreciate each and every participant for the enthusiasm they have shown and they are still showing to learn more and more so that they can contribute to the building of their nation. We are called nation builders, and to be a strong nation, we have to build a strong foundation. So I believe most of the participants today with us are from the foundation phase, and I take this opportunity to salute those teachers, those educators dealing with the little ones, the little stars, with love, care, patience, and lot of perseverance. Let's all salute them because the foundation of the nation lies in their hands. It is up to the kindergarten teachers or the foundation stage teachers that whether they want to make this nation a stronger one or a weaker one. It is up to them. Children are given to us just like blank white papers, and it is the duty of this foundation stage teachers to mold them into better citizens with all the creativity, thinking skills, and all the skills, and more than that, with a good character. You might remember the professor saying, we don't need weapons to destroy a nation. We just have to allow the children to copy in their examination. It is understood what are the responsibilities lying with us, and I wish all the educators all the very best. Today we have our chief guest, Miss Anila Mature. She is a veteran educator with lots of experience in India and abroad. In fact, I had the opportunity to work under ma'am, and a good mentor and an expert in chemistry. And soon we are going to have a chemistry session from madam. She has already given one last time about art integration. So it is my honor to welcome our esteemed chief guest, Miss Anila Mechu, to this session. Hearty welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I am unable to start my camera. I don't know why. Maybe it is closed centrally. I don't know.
It's not closed, ma'am.
But I am unable
Check,
to.
Sawad, can you please check?
It says you cannot do that.
Mr. Sawad, can you please check? Yes, ma'am, we will get back to you. So we will make arrangements.
No problems at all. It is
Thank you,
not
thank you.
necessary to see me. If you can hear me, it's fine.
Yeah, so
It
madam,
is-
we'll get back to you. We'll get back to you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Next, I would like to welcome our captain, the president of Bharat Sahodaya, Mr. Shibu. Let's all welcome him on board. Hearty welcome, Shibu sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, and we have our
Thank you.
dearest patron, Miss Jayanti with us, Dr. Jayanti, the veteran principal, educator. Hearty welcome, ma'am. And Biju, Mr. Biju S. Pillai, he is with us for many years, associating with us a lot, and he is the treasurer of Bharat Sahodaya. Hearty welcome, Biju sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And hearty welcome to each and every participant, educator, and the moderator as well. Thank you so much. Have a pleasant and healthy evening. Thank you. Over to the moderator, Shubha ma'am.
Yes, sir. Fellow members, please join me to welcome Mr. Shibu, the president of Bharat Sahodaya, executive member of Kerala Confederation of Sahodaya Complexes, and city commissioner of Hindustan Scouts and Guides. Sir, for the presidential address.
Thank you, Ms. Shubha. Respected General Secretary and my dear brother, Mr. Abdul Salam. Also, my brother and friend, Mr. Biju S. Pillai is also there. Our patron, Dr. Jayanti. Today is our esteemed chief guest, Ms. Anila Mature Jayachandran, CBC resource person, principal, KMB Vidya Mandir Thrissur. Today's our moderator is Ms. Subhavi, NLP trainer and practitioner, Tamil Nadu. And all the educators who are listening to us. Today's webinar is 47th one of our webinar web series. Today's topic, all of you know that, all about early years, inculcating creativity and thinking skills in the early years. Anyway, I am quite sure that our resource person can make it a memorable one for us. Really, the educators who are listening to us is the strength of us, because they are giving us the wholehearted support and encouragement to our attempts to empower the teaching fraternity. So I use this opportunity to introduce our new empowerment mission, Bharat Educer, for complete solution for educational sector, especially for the CBSE fraternity. I strongly believe that your cooperation and encouragement are essential for the success of this attempt. I am assuring that the service provided will be quality one and economic. You all know that the quality of webinars given by Bharat Sahodaya, as well as you all know that we are not collecting even a single paisa for the webinars. But the services given by Bharat Sahodaya, Bharat Sahodaya and Bharat Educer will keep the quality and not collecting any money. But Bharat Educer is going to collect a minimum charge, otherwise we cannot survey. That's why then the services given by Bharat Educer are only need-based training for individual schools. That is, according to the needs of the school, we are providing the schools the academic services as well as the administrative service level. Also, we are ready to run the entire school under the Bharat Sahodaya Educer. The second service we are providing is training for teachers in all subjects and phases. We train the teachers in their subjects in offline mode as well as in online mode. It includes all empowerment them with knowledge of their subjects, training for audiovisual aids, developing their communicative skills, make them up to date with the changes in their respective curriculum. Third service we are offering is the recruitment of teachers. If you join in our training session, those who are performing well during training period will be absorbed by the schools inside and outside in India with the involvement of Bharat Sahodaya. The other service is academic auditing and appraisal. The next service is assistance for new schools for their accreditation and affiliation. Next one is the coaching classes for competitive exams like JEE, NEET, etc. First of all, we are conducting a medical and engineering entrance crash course in June. For this, we have almost developed our software and software material. Before starting the coaching, we are offering a demo class for each subject without any payment. After watching this, only students can decide to continue with the Bharat Educer. That much we are confident. For this, I am requesting our educators. They are the strength of our Bharat Sahodaya. So I am requesting all the educators to bring a student for joining in our demo classes. The ad and details will be followed in our WhatsApp group later. Once again, I am asking for your wholehearted support and encouragement to make our second attempt a grand success. I am not extending my words. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Shubham, ma'am, you can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We also take the pleasure to welcome Dr. Jayanti, the patron of Bharat Sahodaya, and Mr. Biju S. Pillai, treasurer of Bharat Sahodaya.
Good evening,
A
ma'am.
special
Good evening. All of you, good evening.
Good evening to all.
Okay. Good evening. Our time is very precious. That time you continue our training program, our 47th web series, this one, and also hearty welcome all the participants and our resource person and also our chief guest, and all are welcome to this function. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. A special welcome to our chief guest, Ms. Anila Mechur Jayachandran, Principal, Kulapati Munshi Bhavans Vidya Mandir since April 2013, the Vice President of Trishur Sahodaya, subject expert in chemistry for AISSCE representing Trivandrum region, functioned as HE in chemistry, nearly 33 years of teaching experience in senior secondary, out of which 23 years of teaching experience in senior secondary, out of which 23 years in Dubai with GEMS as HOD of Science and with NIMS Group of Academic Advisor. The resource person for COE Trivandrum, Dehradun and Delhi East. Ma'am, I request you to felicitate the session.
I humble namaste to each one of you. Respected Shibu sir, the president of Bharat Sahodaya, my friend Dr. Abdul Salam. I should tell that this is through him I got this opportunity to address such a big gathering. And patron ma'am and all dear friends who have joined to listen to this session. Once again, good evening and namaste to each one of you. Before I say anything, let me appreciate the sincere and the wholehearted effort put in by Bharat Sahodaya to empower the teachers. It is expanding from Google. They have skipped to now to Zoom. And I don't know what are the ways and means Salam sir is finding out to accommodate the maximum. I have some 52 class groups in my mobile, but sir must be having hundreds, I'm sure. Apart from the school, managing the schools with lots of class groups, once the online platform business has started, Salam sir will be, he's having all the subject groups. Recently, he has started with home science and even mass media. I don't know, you can name it. Any code number and subject given by the CBSE, sir will be having a group. Any request you put in that we need a group for these teachers, sir is ready to do that. I just don't know how sir is managing. I used to ask sir, how do you manage? How do you get time to do so much? Are you not going home? I feel that he is almost every time with the system and doing such a sincere job. Hats off to you, sir. You became already a role model for all of us, that how to put in sincere effort without expecting anything back. This is what the best you can do for your country, because through empowering the educators, you are empowering the children, the future of India. And without fail, I can say that those who observe you, the work given by Bharat Sahodaya, definitely the teachers will put in sincere effort to empower the children. And today's topic, the various topics what sir is choosing, and the resource persons, excellent resource persons every time. Various sessions I have attended. And every time, sometimes because of the clashes in the meeting, which I already have planned, even today, I'm not able to sit for the complete session, and really I will miss it, but definitely your YouTube channel will provide me a chance to see that again. So what I have to tell you is, when NEP is insisting so much on early education and the measures what we have to follow, this particular session is very apt, and I'm sure most of them who are watching this and who are attending this session, they'll be the KG or just the primary 1 and 2 teachers. along with principals, academic advisors, or coordinators, supervisors, etc. And dear teachers, I have to tell you only one thing. You are the ones who are beginning the formal education of these children. It was years back when APJ Abdul Kalam, who's respected by every citizen of not only of India, the world, we must say, he came to one of the very old and prominent schools in Trivandrum. It was their centenary celebrations, and he asked the children, it was in the month of August, I feel, years back. He asked the children, who is that one person who can mold or change the child, who can influence the most a small child? Then the children were answering. He always have a habit of interacting with the children. He is so enthusiastic. He was like that with the children. Once he gets the children, he will forget everything. All the protocols he will forget. So he asked them, and the children started answering, Father, Mother, God. Some of them said teacher. Then he said teacher, then be specific. They couldn't be very specific about his question. He said, I want a very specific, clear-cut answer. Finally, sir was giving the answer. It is the primary teacher. Once the teacher can influence the child, neither God nor devil can change them. That was the way he said it, the confidence on his face and his words. He was experiencing it, and he was a role model who was influenced by the primary teacher. He used to say that the diagram of the bird, what was drawn on in my primary class, that is the one which gave me the idea that I have to go to the space science. So at that time, of course, 70, 80 years back or 90 years back, we cannot think of pre-primary classes. Definitely, the education began with primary classes. But now if somebody asks me, I can confidently say that it is the KG teacher. You know, the kind, I always tell my teachers, hats off to you, because the amount of work they put in, everybody will feel that they are very leisurely because they work for a shorter time. But what are the ways they work? They not only replace the mother, they replace even ayahs. They at times, you know, the kind of job what they do, taking the children even to the toilet without showing any kind of difficulty. The way they help the children, the way they console the children, the way they teach the children, it is something which everybody cannot do. So dear teachers, whichever class you have, if you are handling KG classes, keep your heads right up. You have all reasons to feel proud of yourselves because you are doing something which the trained postgraduates or MPhil ones or the doctorate ones cannot do. Because you are the one who are holding their hands to start the alphabets. You are the one who's first touching their hearts, who's leading them towards education. You are the one who's teaching them so many do's and do nots when they are in the society, when they are in the classroom. At homes, maybe the parents are doing it, but when they are dealing with the society, you are the ones who are training them, you are guiding them. So all my humble pranams to all the KG teachers and first, second primary level teachers. And NEP had gone much higher level. Your role is becoming so important now. I used to tell my parents when the KG sessions meeting is the most crowded ones. All the enthusiastic parents and even grandparents will attend the meeting. As it goes higher, the number of participants will be decreased. 12th standard, even if we call them personally for an interaction, one of the parents, if they come, we are lucky. Otherwise, both will will not turn up saying that we are busy or that particular day we cannot. But KG, surely the whole family will come. I used to tell them, you can confidently hand over that sapling to my teachers. They will hand you over a big tree who is ready to give shelter and shade for so many. Now I am telling, from sapling, we have gone down to seedling. We are thinking even about, pre-KG education. So the smaller age of 3 we are beginning with, that is what NEP says. But definitely with all these efforts, these trainings and your sincerity, much more than the trainings, your sincerity and dedication and passion to work as a small grade teacher, will definitely lead us to success. And once again, I wish Bharat Sahodaya, the promo video was excellent, and your thoughts, let us hope so, like these training sessions, that will also be very successful and fruitful. And I wish all the very success, and whatever little way I am able to help you out, I'm always there, because Salam sir was such a gentleman that who never said no to any of the work assigned to him. And even now he is continuing like that. So my best wishes to Bharat Sahodaya, and not to the training session, and all dear teachers. Wish you all the very best, and may God's grace be upon us always. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your blessing and motivation. In fact, everybody feels motivated. Thank you so much for your presence, ma'am. Over to Shubha, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I think those were the right words said at the right session, because most of the time when you ask people about their profession, they sometimes say we are just teachers. And then when it comes to KG teachers, and then they say, I just handle LKG. I'm just a KG or an LKG teacher. So I think now it's the right time for the facilitators of the early childhood to hold their pride on the shoulders. So really motivating words. Thank you, ma'am. Today we have the resource person with us, Ms. Manjula Sriram Kumar. She has been in the education field for the past 17 years. She is married. She's a mother of 2 children. She started her career after starting her family. She holds bachelor's in English literature. She also holds an international diploma in early childhood care and education from Montessori Center International, London. She also holds an international diploma in special education from International Institute of Teachers Training, IITT, Kolkata. She is pursuing PG diploma in Master's Trainer Program, IITT, Kolkata. She started her career as an abacus teacher in Muscat and pursued her ECCE while working. After completing her diploma in ECCE, her career graph grew from being an assistant teacher to an English teacher, and then a head teacher, and then as a faculty trainer and advisor for Teddy's Nursery, Muscat, to being a KG vice principal for Dr. Raju Davis International School, and then to an academic manager, Nivedita Vidyanithiketan Mapranam, to a KG director for Sacred Heart Higher Secondary School, Malappuram. She is also a life skill trainer. She has trained many professionals, including recruits in Kerala Police Academy, Thrissur. She has attained appreciation certificate from the Collector of Calicut for taking life skill class for the 9th and 10th classes in Kozhikode district. Her interests are to update her knowledge in the education field by attending various workshops and imparting her knowledge for the betterment of the future generation. So this is about a resource person. And dear participants, with you, the session is more successful. Your presence has proved, Dr. Abdul Salam sirs, that you are the nation builders. So it's time to kickstart the session. Before that, we have a small activity to be done. It's a very interesting activity. It's going to take not more than 5 to 10 minutes because it's time for the resource person to take over the stage. So yes, you will have to create something with your name. I'll give you an example, what I have created with my name. So it's time for you all to create anything with your name. It can be anything. I'm not going to give you a clue what you have to create. It can be anything. And once you are done, you can raise your hands and you will be allowed to share what you have created. So let me start with mine. My name is Shubha, and so I have created a couplet. I am Shubha. With me, it's always hurrah. Yes, now it's time for the participants to take part.
Madam, they can put it in the chat box, right? Time is...
Yes, sir. If it is...
Yeah, yes,
yes,
time
yes, sir.
is the matter. Yeah, thank you. And I would like to extend a warm and special welcome to our resource person who, for coming forward. The moment I asked her, I requested her, she nodded her head and she came forward with this session for the early children, for the teachers of foundation stage. Hearty welcome, ma'am. Over to Shubha ma'am again. Thank you.
Yes, we'll hold on to the activity now. Now it's time for the resource person to take over. Yes. So when we put so many things into the chat box now, then I think the resource person will get distracted. We'll have it to the end. Once the session is over, like anybody whoever wants to share what they have created, we can put it at the end of the session. So Manjula ma'am, now it's your turn. It's all yours now.
Hello, a warm good evening to everybody present here. Respected General Secretary Salam sir, President Shibu sir, our patron Jayanti ma'am and Anila ma'am, and of course our coordinator Shubha ma'am, and all the teachers, the educators here. A warm good evening to you all. Yes, I'm Manjula Sri Kumar, and I love small children because I feel that their love and their participation is always unconditional. When Salam sir invited me, thank you sir for inviting me to this big platform, because Sahodaya platform is the biggest platform I've seen, and thank you so much for inviting me, because there is so much in me that I would like to tell the teachers. But yes, I used to go to, if you see after coming here, I've worked with teachers, and I felt that they are very small part where I'm imparting my knowledge. But when all of you come here, I feel good, because yes, my words are spreading out, and I think that this will go on and on. You will take it in as far as we want to tell you, and then our future generation is going to have a really good time later. So Salam sir, without wasting much time, I'm going to start my this with your permission, and with all the with the permission of all the dignitaries here, with the blessings of God Almighty. Let me start my session. Just give me 2 seconds for the screen share. I hope everybody can see my screen. Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
You
Thank
can
you, sir.
maximize in the presentation mode.
Yes. I'm just trying to do the slideshow, but there are a few. Yeah, okay. Okay, now is it clear, sir? Is it?
Yes, very good. Perfect.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So, we are going to talk about inculcating creativity and thinking skills in the early years. Now, let me tell you, by the end of the session, you will see that more than inculcating creativity and thinking skills in the early years, we will be talking about how other things are inculcated into creativity and thinking skills to have a very good earlier education. So without much ado, I'm going into the next slide. When NEP came in, we were all with a mayhem. NEP 2019 was a big eye opener for us. We felt that, oh, now what's going to happen? Already we are doing so much of activities. There is the syllabus there. There is the other things that has to be finished, sports day. So many things have to be there. And how are we now going to put in the 4 C's, what the NEP says as 21st century skills? You are all doing it. Till now you have been doing it. But yes, we always take it as part. For instance, if we are taking collaboration, we always look that into PE. If we are doing communication, languages are good for communication. When we take creativity, it's just stuck to the art and craft class. And when it comes to critical thinking, science and maths. No, that's not it is. Let it be in the classroom. Let all these four C's be in the classroom. And moreover, let creativity and the thinking skills be in the classroom. And then you add on all the subjects to it. So let's take a move on. We will discuss about the early years of childhood. What is creativity and thinking skills? Why to inculcate creativity and thinking skills? And how to inculcate creativity and thinking skills. Now, why do I take early years of childhood? I always feel that as early year caregivers, we need to know why are we doing so much for the children for this early years. Okay, let me ask you a question, and if possible, Shubha ma'am, I hope you can see the answers and you can tell me. In the chat box, if you can put in, we have a 20-story building. And what do you think? Which one, where you have been told to build a 20-story building, and tell me which of the stage or which of the part of the 20-story building will you build it strong? Fast. I'm just giving you 10 seconds. I want the answers fast in the chat box. Yes, you can put it in. Fast, because we don't have much time. Which is the part which you feel should be the strongest? Is it the upper part? Is it the middle part? Or is it the, the base part? Which one? Sorry, I can't see the chat. Can anybody tell me the answers, what it's coming
Shubha
in?
ma'am, you can, the most answers are foundation. The mostly
Foundation.
written
Yes.
answers, yes.
Great. That is great. Why foundation? Because if the foundation is not strong, then finish. The whole thing will come down. And childhood or humans' personality builder or humans' education has to start from the foundation stage. That is why NEP gives much of importance to the foundation stage. Now, let us get into the early years, and that is that is the early childhood, that is the early years. Okay, let us see what are the features of the early years. It starts from birth to 8 years of age. And we can see that 85% to 90% of brain development occurs at this time of remarkable growth with brain development at its peak. So when we say from birth to 8 years of age, let me tell you, most of the development, they occur from inside the mother's womb. So from the time the mother is conceived, then we can see slowly, the internal and the outside organ is being developed. And after 9 months, the whole physical body is being developed and it comes out. And at that time, the brain is developing. Now, the rest of the development has to happen. The brain has developed for a 12 months or let's say, a 9 months old child, which is, not a 9 months old child, for a baby who has just been delivered. That is the 0 age. So when the child comes out, then we see that the child is still in the embryonic stage about his mind, because his physical has been developed, but its mind is still in the embryonic. It's still the egg, which has to be influenced by the environment and the people surrounding them. And also, this is the time when your physical, socio-emotional, cognitive, language, and motor development is developing. Now, I'm sure that I don't need to tell you one by one what these are. These are the different developmental areas. Now, let me tell you one more thing. We are early year educators. And let me tell you, you have enough and more in places to read about it. As teachers, as educators for the early years, you need to read, you need to understand. Why? Because these things were not told by me. It was not told by anybody here. It had been researched. So the question comes in, and I want you to answer me in the chat box. I hope Shubha ma'am would help me, or Salam sir. Can anybody tell me, when did when did and who did vouch for child's education? See, education started way, way, way behind. I'm talking about who vouched for child education. I'll give you the name of the, give you the year in 1500s. Now, I'll give you a clue. The people whom you see here or the names are not the one. There was somebody who vouched for child's education in 1500. Fast, we don't have too much of time. Is there anyone? I'm sorry, I don't know. I can't see the chat, so.
They say it's
Shubham.
Maria. They say it's Maria Montessori.
Maria
Most of them,
Montessori came.
yeah. So far,
Okay, so this is where we have to always read about things. Let me tell you, in 1500s, Martin Luther King, he was the one who vouched for child's education, okay? Because he said that children have to learn to read. And why? To read Bible, so that they do good for the community. And after that came John Amos Comenius, who's been told as a father of modern education. All these people in this slide, they are people who have worked, who have researched on children. And he was the first, John Amos Comenius was the first to publish pictorial books for children. He said sensorial experiences were to be given, and through that children will learn. Then came John Locke, who said that a child's mind is tabula rasa. That is, tabula rasa, that means the child's mind is a blank slate and the environment fills into the mind. Then Froebel, of course, who have learned kindergarten or who have learned ECCE, they would be knowing about Froebel, who is the originator of the new kindergarten. And what he said was that children have to learn through play. Now, let me tell you, his play and what we play in the kindergarten are two different things. And for that, you need to read. You need to read each one of them to know what exactly did they mean. Then comes Dr. Maria Montessori. So see, before Dr. Maria Montessori, people have worked on children. They have learned child's mind. And what did Dr. Maria Montessori? She goes on with John Locke. When John Locke said that it is the child's mind is a blank slate, Dr. Maria Montessori said the child's mind is an absorbent mind. That's like a sponge. So we educators have to decide whether the sponge has to be a clean sponge or should it have, so the environment with the parents, with the educators, with peers, with all things what we give in the environment decides how the sponge will. Then there is Jean Piaget, whom you would be knowing, yes. Those who have gone through with the early education career, they know about Jean Piaget, who learned about the development stages, Lev Vygotsky, John Dewey, Rudolf Steiner, Erik Erikson. There are so many people who have done researches on different developmental areas of the children. And unfortunately, sometimes we forget it because we don't keep on updating. Why did I bring you to this researchers? Because as early year educators, we need to understand, we need to read how, why, and what was the purpose for them to do all these things. So I hope that after my session, my teachers will be started reading. And let me tell you, you are the blessed ones because you can get it from the fingertips. Just put in the name and you get it in Google. It's so easy. You just have to take a bit of time to read about it. Okay, now next we go into, okay, so can anybody tell me how many types of approaches? Because Dr. Maria Montessori's Montessori approach, everybody knows. You know now that we have done researches in child's mind and how children are playing and how children are learning. Do you know any approaches about other than Maria Montessori? Can anybody put it in the chat box? Fast? Come on. You are all teachers who know very well. So I want to see, and Shubha ma'am, please help me with the chat. I'm not giving you too much time to think. Do you know any other approaches? Please put in, there is nothing right or wrong in my session. I always look at open-ended discussions. And if we don't know, of course, that's why we have these sessions to learn about it. And we have the time to discuss with each other. So whatever you know, please put it
They say experiential learning, theme-based, activity-based,
in.
kindergarten, playway method, Rudolph approach,
Okay, great. So,
constructivism,
yeah, let's go to the next one.
EYFS.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shubha ma'am. So yes, I have not taken
The
all,
recording has stopped.
I've not taken all the messages, all the approaches, but
This
I've
meeting is being recorded.
a few approaches that we see in schools. Montessori approach, then Reggio Emilia approach, which was done in the village of Reggio Emilia. And in the Montessori approach, it was about observing the children and finding out the strengths and weaknesses through different types of practices. In Reggio Emilia, it was more about documenting what their interests were and how they work. And yes, they are also working with activities. Then it was high scope approach done by David Beckhart. And I'm telling you, you have to read the Perry Preschool Project, which was done in 1962. Why I'm telling you this? Because when we become voracious readers, we tend to know what is happening in the outside world. High scope approach, then there is team-based approach and a blended approach. Let me tell you, in all these approaches, what do you see? Answers fast, what do you see? How do you see the children? Fast. Shubha ma'am, are the comments coming in when I ask them?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Happy involvement, active participant. They are engaged.
Exactly.
Student-teacher interaction. They are active.
Yes.
They develop their social emotional skills, collaboration.
Yeah, let's keep, why do we
Curious.
have to do the approach? But what do you see there? You see they're contented, concentrating children who are into what they are doing because that is their part of interest. And as Dr. Maria Montessori said, when an interest comes into what you're doing, the concentration comes in. Once the process is done according to what the child needs, then the inner joy and the will of the child is completed. Once the inner joy is completed, you have the inner discipline. Not the discipline what we tend to give in the classrooms, but the inner discipline which makes the child understand that he is an important part of the community. Now, after all these approaches, now why did I show you these approaches? Now let me tell you, though it is Montessori approach, though it is Reggio Emilia, this all are different approaches, but comes under one umbrella. And you know the name of that umbrella is Early Childhood Care and Education. So when we say that we are teachers, do not say we are Montessori teachers or we are all other teachers. We tell we are early years educators. And that makes, because there the approach is only the child and to prepare an environment for the child. Now, before we go into creativity, one more thing I want to tell you is that there are certain sensitive periods. I wanted to ask you a question, but I think the time is, so I want to finish this and go into the real part. Many of you have asked me to give some activities, just give some experiences where children, really learn from creativity. So before that, let's go to every child in the early years, that is from 0 to 8 years, you can see that these children have got certain sensitive periods. What are sensitive periods? That is the time where we say that their mind's door are open to certain things. They are getting ready for the future. So these sensitive periods, there are 12 sensitive periods.
The recording has stopped.
One is movement, if you see.
This meeting is being recorded.
Movement of a child. It starts from birth to 1 year. You can see that he slowly turns around, crawling. He's getting ready, coordinating and controlling his muscles. And he's learning to touch and hold and take and walk, right? Then it's language from birth to 6 years. The cooing, the babbling, the echolalia, and then it comes into small monosyllabic words, and then small sentences. Take away the grammar, but they are trying to put things into sentences. And that's where we have to help them. Order from 6 months to 4 years, wherein children, if you see, they like to keep things because they always think concrete, not abstract. So for them, what they see, where they keep, how they keep, it makes a big difference. Then comes interest in small objects. You might be showing a big picture, and the child will say, "Ma'am, can you see that small bee?"
The recording has stopped.
And you will look, oh, that was a small thing. There was a big tree out here. Yes, they have these small things to look into. That's why when children go on their knees or they are crawling, the grandparents in the house says, be careful, she might take a beetle and put her in the, and you need to keep the house clean, because they always have that is the time for the sensitive period for these small objects. Then comes toileting, a very sensitive period. It's from 18 months to 3 years. Some say that before coming to KG, they need to finish their toileting, but it's not like that. Sometimes it goes on. It's how we teach them. Some can learn toileting from 15 months, but some can go after 3 years. But after 3 years, still, if they cannot control, then we need to think why. But from 0 to 3 years is the best time to learn them toileting. How to do it? Very sensitively. They can understand your face, your facial expression. So even when your child comes to your classroom, and if he or she is does a bubble moment, just be calm. It's okay. You all are doing it, but I'm just, it's always good to brush it up. Then comes music, 2 to 6 years. Music, knowing the rhythm, they know music. Even from small, you can make them listen to music. But from 2 to 6 years, let's say, the child is showing in the rhythm of things. They like to, they are showing that that's where we teach them how to clap in 1 or 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You must be doing that. And then also the small rattles, with that we can teach them. They will grasp it very easily. The thing is, when we are teaching them in this sensitive time, they will learn it fast. Then we have grace and courtesy from 2 to 6 years. To say please, thank you. The best time of the year to teach them those courtesy and grace. Senses, to give them sensorial exploration of things. They learn it better. Writing. What Maria Montessori had seen is that writing comes before reading. Yes, it's true. They love to hold the pencil full arm, and they love to scribble. That's why you see pictures on the walls. But from this, coming to this, needs a lot of help from us. And how? By giving them help through creative things to make their fine motor skills develop. Then comes reading, that's from 3 to 5 years. Give them picture books. Who gave them, like how John Comenius gave them the first picture books, so giving them picture books will lead them to reading. I'll come to it after this. We will talk about all that activities. Then come spatial relationships. Sometimes we see children having a tug of war writing inside red and blue lines. That is not because they don't know how to write, but that's because to bring that spatial awareness into them, to write in that 4 lines, how to write inside the 4 lines. So there also we have to give them a lot of activities to make them write before they know where their space is, to give them their own space to work, to give them. There are lots of activities that we have to inculcate to make them understand that though it's a big world around, we have our small space. Mathematics, 4 to 6 years, of course, that is the time for that they get enough. You can teach them before, you can teach them after. That's fine. You can start from before itself. And we do start before 4 years, we start with them big, small, long, short, shapes. These are all maths. Through that, you can teach them. I will come to it later on because we are talking too much about early years, then we have to come into the creativity. This time is moving on. Now, I can see someone putting their hands up. I do understand, but I will give you time by the end of the session. Is that okay, Shubha ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so that we don't
make a note
lag.
of it.
Yes, please make a note of it. And of course, each one's questions will be answered at the end. Okay, now I want all my teachers. So we have learned about the sensitive periods, why early years are important to put in creativity and thinking skills, right? We have to, because that is the foundational stage and that is the time when their brain is developing and they need things. Now, I'm going to ask you two questions. The first question is, you are going for a tour. Okay. You have been told by the people in the hotel that you can take only one bag with you. Now you are going for a 1 week stay, and what you're going to do is you need to take a lot of things with you. It's an expandable bag. How are you going to put in? If you're going to put in all the things, dump everything what you want, what will happen to the bag? I want the answers fast in the comment box. Ma'am, please help me with the comment box. What is going to happen to the bag?
I'm right.
Yes. What is going to happen when you are going to dump things into the bag? It is an expandable one. You can dump anything into it. But what's going to happen?
Okay, some says it's mess and cluster, some says it's difficult,
Ah,
some says messy.
more than messy.
Mostly it is mess, overloaded, not organized.
Yes, but
Confusion, overloaded.
more than that, the bag just explodes because it can take too much than it can take. You're just dumping everything into it. But at the same time, the same things, if you fold it, if you make it organized, if you keep it in sections into the same bag, let me tell you, you can take the bag without any hazards. Think about the child's mind like that. It can take in everything, but it has a time and it has a method to be giving me. Okay. So the next question I'm telling is, you can see a picture in front of me. I want you to tell me or to write in the chat box, what do you see there? Nothing else, just what do you see there? Fast, fast, let's put in the messages.
Heart shape.
Heart shape, then. Good, good. Very nice that responses are coming in. I'm impressed.
Heart, colors,
Colors, yes,
Birds.
two birds, butterfly,
yes,
colorful life, love,
Yes.
creativity,
yes.
rainbow,
Uh-huh.
two birds with beak, rainbow bird flying.
Yes. What
Yeah,
do
it's
you
again
see?
color,
Colors, yes. What all colors do you
Happy.
see?
happy emotion.
Happy emotion. Oh, okay, that's a good imagination. Happy emotion. Yes, true. Yeah, you feel happy when you see
Many
this, right?
colors and heart shape.
Yes, because that's heart is about love, and when there is love, you're always happy. Anything else, ma'am?
Primary colors,
Okay.
two birds coming together, coordination, child's
Uh-huh.
freedom,
Mm-hmm.
different feelings, peacock,
Uh-huh.
crown,
Mm-hmm.
togetherness,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so
love
you
and care.
great, great, fantastic. I'm sure that you will be brimming up with imagination and bringing in more and more words, because that is the enthusiasm what we, especially early years teachers, have. Because we have a lot of imagination with. But I asked you, what do you see, right? Some said colors, very good. Now, what do you see here? What do I see here? I would like to share it with you. I see two hands. I see red, blue, yellow, orange, green, purple. I see a heart, of course. I see three fingers on both the hands. And as said, it gives me a happy feeling. So thank you so much, teachers. You've brought in so much of answers. I'm so happy about it. Yes, and this is what we want to give to the child as well. At the end of the day, the emotion for the child should be a happy child rather than a child with a lot of stress. Remember the bag? The more organized, the more settling in we make the bag, the more we can use the bag. But if the bag is being put in with a lot of things without any organizer, without any organizing skills, then it will just break. So from here we learn, you have learned about the colors and you've done, let's come to the next slide which says, what are the benefits of creativity? First we'll talk about creativity, then we'll come to thinking skills, and then I will show you a few activities that can be brought in. Why creativity? Why should we give creativity? Because we have quite some benefits about giving in creativity. Now, what are the benefits? Let's say creativity is multidisciplinary. Yes, you can add in lots of subjects into creativity. So through creativity, you can teach them many things. Creativity allows you to express yourself. When you paint, when you color, when you sing, when you do drama, it shows what is your feeling. Creativity promotes thinking outside the box. You ask open-ended questions and they come out with answers about what they feel. Okay, and creativity, of course, when you love to do things what you like, it reduces stress and anxiety. And let me tell you, children of this age has got a lot of anxiety with them. But what will happen, so we need to give them a environment which can reduce their stress and anxiety. Creativity, when you like to do something, you're always in your happy hours. You're in a happy zone and you're having fun, isn't it? And that fun can bring you into concentrating into what you're doing. Creativity gives you a sense of purpose. Now, creativity, as said, we talk about play, but it has to be with a purpose. Not just, let the children run around and take the blocks and put it here and there. No, when we are giving something as an environment for them to play or for them to do creativity, it should lead into a purpose. It should lead without them knowing that we are getting it. It leads to feelings of accomplishment and pride. Once the child does it, the happiness what he gets in, it can link you to others with the same passion. They can find friends through creativity. The same chemistry goes in with people when they work. So it can link people. It improves your ability to focus. Of course, when you have concentration in what you're doing, it will improve. That focus, that concentration will come in when you have something with interest to do. It promotes risk-taking and iteration. When children love to do their work, they don't mind taking the risk. Yeah, they will try new things. They have to try new things. Then it's a prerequisite for innovation. We teach them something to play in a way that they can play what they like. That's creativity. That is out of the box. It's about inventing. I had a child in where I was teaching in Teddy's nursery, and that child, one day we were talking about wind and sounds and how the sounds come in, and how you can hear. We were talking about that, and then we had a time for free play. And let me tell you, the child made something with blocks. Now, when I went to ask him what it is, he told me that I've made a gear machine. That is, he made a machine through which the air comes in and there is a rotation happening, and then it goes to the other end. The sound is produced. We might feel, oh, what did he make? Let me tell you, the child, so happy expressing it. And I could feel the joy. And he sat there. He sat there taking out the parts, again putting it in, again taking out the parts and putting it in. And as an educator, when till his free play finished, he was sitting with the same block. We just let him because he was working on the process. And let me tell you, children love to work on the process rather than taking the end result. It is us who want the end result. Come on, finish it fast. Let's do that. Let's do that. But children, if they find an interest, they need to explore because that might lead to another invention. For him, that was a new innovation and invention for him. Creativity encourages us to be lifelong learners. Now, when you learn through creativity, you are curious. You want to know other things and you start looking into things. Now, educators in our, yes, you are all learners, and I'm sure that our learning will help the children also to learn. Now, Ken Robinson, who is an art educationalist in UK, what he says is that creativity now is as important in education as literacy, and we should treat it with the same status. So it's not apart from education. It is education. It is as important. Can anybody very fast comment, what are the things that you can think about creativity? What is included in creativity? Fast, in the chat box. What are the things?
Innovation, imagination, interest,
That's cool.
divergent thinking,
But
freedom,
great.
happiness.
Shubha ma'am, I think I asked the question wrong. I wanted to ask you, what is included in creativity? When you say creativity, what all things do you use in creativity to teach the children? Can my teachers please answer?
Some say drawing, painting.
Yes. Anything else? Just drawing, painting? Come on, we are doing much more, teachers. Come on, you can do it. More
Yes,
things.
there are lots of their role play, imagination, right?
Okay.
Dance, exploration.
Very good, very good,
Puzzles,
very good.
nature
Puzzle.
walk.
Very good. I'm quite impressed because I'm so happy that you're giving me so much of answers. And yes, let's take 3 different parts in creativity. Like we all say art and craft, then we talk about literature, and then music and movement. Now, let's see, what do we get in all these 3? Now, your imagination, your role play, it all comes in all these 3. Okay, so when we come, what do we see here? We see the benefits of art and craft. Can you see my slide fully? Everybody can see? Yes. Now, we can see that in the developmental benefits of the arts, we have math concepts, decision-making, visual learning, inventiveness, self-esteem, motor skills, and language development. So see, art and craft is not just an activity. Through that, you can teach them a lot more. You can teach them math concept. You can see in this picture, they are measuring, they are steering, they are pouring, this much of water and that much. In this child is keeping the shapes. Now, keeping the shapes, they have to know if they don't keep it properly according to how it has to be kept or according to the space, it will all fall down. How does the precision come? It comes through their problem solving skills, their way or their mathematical concepts, decision making, to know where to do what or how we have to do. Let it be cooking, let it be literacy, let it be. They also have all the freedom to make a decision, and that can be taught through arts. Visual learning, they are seeing what is there in their friend, they're seeing what they have made, and they are learning from it. Drawings, painting, threading, these are all visual learning for them. Inventiveness, it encourages kids to know what they are doing and to express themselves and take risks, which develops a sense of innovation. So they are with arts and crafts, they are not just just painting or doing, but they're also knowing what else can we do because their interest is building up. Self-esteem, they are proud of themselves. We see children, Indian children, they are very good in, let's say, doing things theoretically, but when it comes to practicality, we see, or a public speaking, or they always tend to have low self-confidence and low self-esteem. Give them more of creative activities, thinking skills, and you will see that they come on as best personalities. Motor skills, of course, for writing. Yeah, that is one of the great things that we look upon in kindergarten. No offense, please, but yes, we can't do anything about it. They have to write, but art, they help for fine motor skills. And what do fine motor skills do? They strengthen up the muscles so the children can hold on to the pencil. Language development, how to speak. It offers an opportunity to express what they have done. So that comes up with language development. So here we see the benefits of arts. Now, what I will show you is that if there are benefits, how are we going to work on it? Okay. Now, when we do creative activities, we usually what we do. Okay, we have to teach them this today. So after that, we are going to take creative. So we will have only those things in the class. No, your environment have to have an abundance of things in it. You can keep it in a box. There should be a cardboard box to make a house, a robot, a truck. You know, children, when they come to school, they need to feel that today something new is going to happen. Or when they come for online class, they need to know that today teacher is going to bring in something new. Now they are at homes, you can tell them before itself what to make ready. And the next day when you go for an online class, first you start with them how to make things. And then you come in to make it more clear, I will take you to some case studies. You can take empty kitchen or toilet rolls, even plastic bottle lids, plastic bottles. You can make wonderful birds out of plastic bottles. You can make juice bottles. You can make sheep with cotton wool. You can use yarn to paint, leaves and stem to paint. So there are so many things in the nature and around you that you don't have to just go for a chart paper and a crayon or a pencil. And we, as teachers, as early caregivers, we need to revamp our head to know what will interest the children. I can give you a lot of activities, but your children, all children are not the same. You know better how your children are, isn't it? Children are not machine. We have to always think about it. So maybe what I did with my children might not do great with your children. But of course, we always have to have a plan how other things will also work. For that, we need to observe our children. We need to observe what they love. We need to observe what they like. And we need to have A, B, C, D, E, F plans with us whenever we go for a class.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
That was someone who was singing A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's nice. I hear a small, see, I do that in class as well. In class, when we are doing something and if children start A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I start with them, let me tell you, it makes it much very interesting. Children start singing with us and then we carry on. Singing is always good. Thank you, ma'am, for taking me to those days. Now, literature. Has anybody thought that literature is also a part of creativity? Yes, literature plays a big part of creativity. You know, I have given you this picture of how to teach the alphabet because I know many of you have a problem of making them writing, making them teaching. We will come to a big activity where we will be doing all these things, but these are a few pictures which you can see. You can get it from internet, you can look into YouTube, you can learn it. But let me tell you, things are there at your house, things are there in their house. With those, how we will be doing. These are materials bought in the school. Sometimes you don't even have to buy things. You can just use recycling things and you can do all. You know, Play-Doh or plasticine, what we used to do is in our nursery, we used to make Play-Doh because plasticines are sometimes hazardous to children. So we used to make Play-Doh with plain flour and we used to put a lot of salt in it. Then we used to use cream of tartar, which now you don't get. So even if you make just plain atta is fine. They can play with it and then they can just make it a bit firm, not very soft, and let them. So because when they keep on playing with it, it will become soft. So you can use atta with a little bit more salt into it. Who can tell me why are we adding salt into it? Shubha ma'am, I think they are answering me. Why do they
Yes,
put
yes.
in? Yes. Why do they put salt in it? A little bit more salt into it.
Taste, preservative, preserve.
With all these children playing with it, I don't think that it will preserve more than one day. But if you go to see children of that age, they are learning it with their senses and the oral senses. They have this of taking everything and putting in their mouth. Now, when it is too salty, unless and otherwise, the child has got really great cravings of salt, they will never put it in the salt, they will just spit it out. So they will not be eating. Otherwise, by the end of the day, you will get the whole atta inside the child's tummy, which is not good. But still, it is not as bad as plasticine or the clay what you get. Clays at very, very spare moments we used to give, but to learn letters, to do things inside the classroom, to learn for their fine motor skills, we used to make Play-Doh and we used to give. You can even add color into it and keep it inside the you can add preservatives if you get like cream of tartar or but that's not needed. Once you finish, just take it, knead it nicely, and at least it will stay for 2 days, and you can keep it in the fridge, but keep it in the fridge so that the next day also you can use it and you can use color in it. So you can even tell the parents to keep it ready for the children to do activities. Okay. Now, when literature comes, and you can see that children are reading, and what happens? They are getting an intimacy with the books. They are looking at pictures. They are bringing out their imagination, their fantasy, and they are working on how to express it to others. They are talking with each other. Drama, of course, and role play helps children to express themselves. They help children to have, and according to the need and ability of the children, we have to prepare the environment so that all children in the classroom can learn and can come out better. And also gender equity and understanding, we can get good climates. Children, when they start expressing, for instance, I've put it like they first learn the alphabets, then they look into the picture books, then they're doing role play, and then expressing, so by first standard or second standard, they can easily start expressing. Now, let me tell you, never go for pretty perfect results, because your perception is not the child's perception. So if the child is doing something and he has an answer for it, always respect it. They are little individuals, and whatever they say is their work. If you can put it on the wall, well enough. It will give a great boost of self-confidence to the children. And there are some things what you can get ready for the activities. I've just put it dramatic play, ideas to get you and your child started. Then you have old clothes. You can use, shawls for them to, you can put in a music and they can dance for that. You can make simple puppets, or you can buy in simple puppets. You can do song and movement. You can make different role plays for your theme. For instance, of an EVS, you have professionals, different professions. Some can be doctors, some can be firefighters, some can be shopkeepers, and you can have an area ready there. At story time, you can act the story. Okay, now next we are coming to what does music and movement do to children. Benefits of music and movement. That is a part of creativity. It boosts up self-confidence. It boosts up language skills, listening skills, creativity. I'm not going to get into it because you all know what these are. And another thing is that it calms and soothes emotions and make children feel that, they have come, their own emotional strengths have been soothed up. So morning when they come into the class or when you start the class, if you keep not a big rhyme or something, but a small, a little bit slow music, if you put it in, the children will feel more comfortable. They will feel comfortable to come, they will feel comfortable to sit and listen to the music. Once the school starts, of course, you can switch it off, but when they are coming to school, when you're doing the online, also you can give them some soothing music to get them into the classroom. And it is also, music and movement is also a great transition for change. Like, you change from one step to another, from one role play to another. You can give them enough and more changes in that role play, which will help them to, know the transition from moving from one to another. And also it provide opportunity to explore, like rhythm, sound, dynamics. These are elements of music which they will learn. Okay, this is some of, now we start with, this is some of the creative areas where we used to do in our nursery. There is, if you see, there is a role play area with children. It's always there. So children as a group, they come in, they talk with each other, they play with it. This is somewhere we had given them, we wanted to do some wall painting. Wall painting. Our walls were blank. So we decided, why don't we get the children to do painting? Don't worry, these are all child-friendly paints. With them, we have done it. And they were painting it with their hands, with brushes, and they're having good day with it. This was a small reading place where we had created for the children. So if they wanted to come in and just sit down and just listen, or just take their favorite book and read, they could have some time for themselves. Now, here is something that I want to show you. And this is where you can see children are picking up leaves. Now, let me tell you, this is a small experience and you can all use it in your classroom. It really worked well when I was doing it. One fine day when we came to school, and the children, they were children, let's say between 2.5 and 3.5 years. And these children were sitting there and we did a circle time. And when I looked out, there were lots of neem leaves down. That day, the person had not cleaned the premises. So there were just, because our school was under a big neem tree and there were a lot of neem leaves there. And what I did is, I just got it in my head and I called them and I said, come on, let's go and pick up few leaves. And when I went there, I told them that each one to pick up 10 leaves. And they picked it up and we came inside the classroom. After coming into the classroom, they sat with their leaves and I told them to count them, to check and count whether it's 10 leaves. After doing that, you know what I did? I made them into pairs and I asked one of the children to spare some, that take 5 leaves and give it to their friend. She took it, she counted 5 leaves and she gave it to the other child. The other child took the 5. I said, okay, put it together. And how many are there? Can you please count? When she counted, of course, I was also helping her, guiding her. So when we counted 15. I said, oh, you've put it together. Do you know you've added your friend's leaves with you? And that is called addition. Then I called the other child and I said, do you know what you have done? You have taken away 5 from you and you have given it to the other child. And taking away from what we have and giving it to somebody else, sharing, is called subtraction. Let me tell you, it works. Then I told them, okay, now I'm going to tell you add addition and subtraction. My main thing was to teach them the concept of addition and subtraction. Now, I did not wait till they became 5 years or 6 years. With that small work, we did give the idea of addition and subtraction to them. Afterwards, we kept a box of balls in a corner. And whenever I felt that, okay, we need to give them some activities, we'll say, let's do some addition and subtraction with the balls. And they would sit with them and they would try to give some. Okay, you've given it away. Now, that does not mean that you just leave the children with the balls. No, you have to be with them, scaffolding them, with giving them the right guidance. And they started, okay, you give away 2, you have 5, you gave away 2. How many do you have left? I have 3. Okay, great. So you've subtracted 2. You have given away, you have done subtraction, you have done addition. Now you have taken the 2 balls, add it on. So I have 5 and I've taken my friend's, the small balls, I've taken it, and now let's add it. It's 5 plus 2, 7. And that's how, through creativity is not only about using paints and arts and crafts, it's also about small things that we see in everyday life. And through that, if we can teach, if I can teach the children the concept of addition and subtraction, let me tell you, we all can teach children through this creativity. Okay. Now, let's come to the next slide. Okay, here you can see we all do, right? We all learn the thirsty crow. We all know about it. Now, as I told you, every child loves to see the teacher coming in with some or the other things. Shubha ma'am, I think I saw 2 or 3 teachers putting their hands up. I think we'll give them
Yes.
2 minutes, so if they need to ask something.
Okay, I've asked them to unmute. I've already given them the permission.
Okay. So let them ask, because I think I've been talking for quite some time. They would like to speak up something. Yeah.
I think it is Miss Kirtika Manoj.
Okay. Kritika ma'am.
Miss Kirtika Manoj, or you can just put it in your chat box. All right, ma'am, you can continue. Manjula, ma'am, you continue. Once I get the question, I'll forward it to you.
Yeah, please do so. Now, this is about the thirsty crow. Usually what we do is we teach children line by line so that they just, rot learn it and they do it. But let me tell you, if we have a pot, now here a pot and a crow is there, but without that itself, we ourselves can become a crow. How? Get into the classroom with a shawl tied to yourself and come in. But you need to see that your environment has to be prepared. We cannot run around taking things when the children are there. The children, when they come in, they are settling. All the things should be there in the classroom. So there will be a bottle, a transparent bottle for the children to see, small one, and there will be some pebbles which will be there in a tray next to the bottle. You will be the crow. You get inside. Oh, I'm thirsty. I want to drink some water. And they will be looking at you, because let me tell you how much messy the class is. Once the teacher starts coming in with a dialogue, children usually look at them like, what happened to her? Is she okay? Yes? So the same thing when you come and you say, oh, I'm thirsty. I would like to drink some water. Oh, there is a bottle of water there. Now, let me tell you, children will bring you bottles of water. So you can say, oh, let me look for another, because I'm a crow. I cannot drink from you. Let me look whether there is some water here. So they will see the pot of water. They'll say, oh, the water is so less. What am I supposed to do? Ask the children. I'm telling you, they will give you something or the other answers. Take it in, and then, yeah, there are a few pebbles here. Let me pick up the pebble and let me put it in. And you show them 1, 2, 3. Water has come up a little, because they can see that it's a transparent bottle. They can see the water is coming up. 4, 5, 6. How much ever you put in the pebbles, see to it, it comes up fast, because when it goes on for a lot of time, children will get bored. And then you drink from it. You say, oh, I'm feeling good. Show them how the thirsty grows. Keep all the materials there in the classroom so children can enact it. And let them enact it and let them learn the thirsty crow, rather than just teaching them a few lines to go in and talk in the assembly. That's not how story has to be taught. They need to involve themselves, and you can teach them numbers, you can teach them letters, you can teach them all sorts of things through this one story. Then comes, this is a simple bus for children. I did it in my class once. What I did is I brought in a big fridge, a big refrigerator box to the class. So my children always, when they come, they want to see what I'm bringing to school. I brought in a big fridge and they started asking me, what is that for? I said, oh, I would like to show you something with this. And I brought in a few twigs, I brought in. So already I had cut in the windows because I wanted to show them that these windows are, it will help them. I put in there and I told them, can you please help me to make a bus? And then while we were doing the bus, while we were doing it, now, sorry to say this picture is not from my school because I couldn't put that in. There were a few, sometimes we are so much into our work that we don't take pictures in. But there was a lot of activities in our school, and through that activities, we used to teach children all types of writing and learning. And let me tell you, it was not just one curriculum. We used to take all the good things from all curriculums, and our children used to go to different schools after the nursery in Teddy's. Now, what happened is, after that, they started working with me. With twigs, we made, we made, I'm sorry, I'm not getting the words. With twigs, we made the wipers stick to the bus. We made, I gave them paints to do sponge painting because they can do painting, they can create their own bus. And then we put in chairs in the box, like how it's been shown here, and they started sitting there. And let me tell you, after that, we didn't take it and we didn't just throw it away. It was there in the side of the room where we started teaching them about transport. Through this bus activity, we started teaching them what all other transports are there. What do they see around? How many wheels are there on the bus? How many windows are there? Now, what happens if the bus breaks down? How many vehicles are there which has got 2 tires, which has got 3 tires? And let me tell you, children at this age, they are concrete learners. So, okay, how many tires are there? There are, what they see are 4 tires. And then you can also tell them that in the bus, there are also. So whatever they see, they will be answering you. Ma'am, again, I can see hands there.
Madam,
Yes.
can I interrupt? There is a concern here.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic idea for offline classes. And how can Madam help online classes with this idea?
Yes, yes. Online classes, of course, you cannot take a fridge, or you cannot tell the parents to keep it there. But of course, children will be having toys with them. You can ask the parents to make it ready before you start an online class. And the teacher can take a small bus and say, see, look, today I've got something for you. They can use any type. Some will be having cars, some will be having scooters, some will be having buses, whatever they have, if they have vehicles. If they don't have also, that's fine, because of course, we cannot force the parents to go in and buy. And then with that, if they have small, toothpaste boxes, they can make buses. With that activity, they can learn things. You will have to enforce it. You will have to tell them what has to be done. Otherwise, they will not be learning it because they are not with you to give the colors. You can tell them that you can put paints. Paints will be there. You can ask them to put paints, to decorate their own bus, to count how many. See, offline or online, it is all about how much time you make them sit and what you teach about it. If it's offline, yes, it's very good. They are with us. We can always keep an environment. But even parents, they will help you when they see that their children are getting interested with what they can do. If you want to teach numbers, if you want to teach alphabets, they can use leaves. We will come to that activity. I will be giving you an activity for doing all these things. So now let's go on to thinking skills. Now here we will see that thinking skills. What are thinking skills? We talked about creativity. We talked about the benefits of creativity. Now let's talk about thinking skills. Now thinking skills, if you see, it's just like Bloom's taxonomy. Yes, how are we going to make them think? But how, in a very simple way, we will make them think. First, we will find or remember an information they have to remember. Then they have to understand the concept. You remember what I said? They first took in the leaves, then they kept it, they started counting it, remembering how much they have. After that, they're understanding the concept of, there is 5 and 5, they can make it into 5, they can give 5 to their friends. They're having the understanding of giving away and putting it together, then applying it, literally doing the activity. After that, analyzing the information inside out. Once they do it, once they do they apply it, then okay, if I took one from that leaf, or if I took something from there, and we worked on how to analyze it, how to look into the information. Is it correct? How to check it by counting what you have put together, or by counting afterwards what is left. Then evaluating, critically examining the information. Again, after analyzing, you have to evaluate whether what you did is correct. And we have to teach the children that if the coming strategies, or the coming examples will tell you how we are doing it. Then creating. Afterwards, they create. Afterwards, we are giving them the balls to play with it and to make them do the others again and again. So they can create it in different ways, with different numbers, with different. So instead of we telling, they can even, we are giving them more and more open-ended questions of what if we, share, instead of 2, we share more 3, or if we share the whole thing, what do you have left over? I have 0, nothing. So these things of creating more and more out of the box ideas. I'm sorry about it. I'm just rushing because I know it's, I want to take you to the activities which come in more, which can help you, because I got some questions asking that you need more creativity activities that you can work on. Okay, now let's look the thinking skills. They have 4 phases of thinking skills. Now, let me tell you, I have got this actually from wonderful, sorry. I'm sorry, I want to go. Something is, something is happening to my, I just, okay. Now, let's start from here. Okay. Now, there are 4 phases of thinking skills. Okay, 4 phases. That is one, tuning in, preparing an environment for the children to think, to give them an environment to think. Then there is a development phase where the teacher uses different techniques like modeling or questioning strategies to extend their thinking process. Then we have the creative phase where we are giving children enough and more activities to do for the children, so it can really work on their thinking skills. And then the reflective phase, after they do everything, how they are going to reflect upon it. There are 4 phases of thinking skills, and we can also see that how we have to prepare a thinking environment. The ethos. Let's see the ethos. Ethos is the environment. The environment should be friendly. It should be more inculcating ideas. It should be more giving away certain things. You're all waiting for the online but this online thing will be going off soon, and we always hope that children will be, when children come back, we need to understand the environment what we have should be friendly, and it should be more welcoming to the children. Then we give teacher support and intervention. So when we give teacher, how do we give teacher support and intervention? By, of course, giving them ideas, giving them more things to work on. Then we have supporting and challenging learning environment. It's shown that how a thinking environment can be made. Once the teacher support and intervention is there, the children know what they're doing. Then we give them supporting and challenging learning environment. For instance, the children come in and they have to do a letter work. Okay, we are giving them a few things to do. And through this things, for instance, we are giving them paints, we are giving them, twigs, we are giving them so many things, and we are giving them and supporting them with few things to make what they need to learn. After that, we are giving it to the children. They can make different shapes, whether it's blocks, whether it's Play-Doh, whether it's more and more of other things in the environment, or play activities in the classroom, how with their own thinking, we are going to work on it. Once with their thinking, their work, we can go and ask questions to them, and we can ask, what do you think if this was made like this? For instance, if a child is making an aeroplane with a puzzle or a block, and you go to the child and you can ask them, what do you think that we can make a chair with the blocks? We give them advanced ideas, or we give them advanced. For a first standard or a second standard year children, if they are sitting in, they find out an answer. For instance, it is about an author, or it is about science, asking them if you are telling the story about the apple falling on Newton's head. You can ask them, what if the apple did not fall on Newton's head? What will happen? Give them open-ended questions. Give them, that is where the advanced teacher support and intervention comes. Give them open-ended questions where they bring out their feelings, they bring out their expressions, and they answer us. And then this should accelerate children's thinking. So whatever we speak, whatever we question, whatever we say, whatever we give the children to work on should always accelerate children's thinking, and they should understand that it's not only one solution to every problem. There can be different solutions to every problem. Here are some of the teaching strategies, and here I would like to tell you the teaching. Now, let me tell you, there was this wonderful report in 2007 about teaching strategies, and it was done by, one second. It was done by the Strathmore University College under the Queen's University of Belfast. I would love you all to read about it, because it is a very good work on thinking skills for the early years. And they have got, and I've extracted some of it from here, because as I told you, my life experience, I can speak with you, but I cannot show it in pictures. But these are some of the things which they show, the teaching strategies. Let's say sensitivity. So how you can show sensitivity in your teaching strategy. Now here it says that the child is playing from cereal boxes. And the child, when she's designing it, the teacher waits. Her sensitivity shows when she waits, she observes, and she looks at the child to finish up the work. Then she goes in and asks her, what are you making? Or that is a wonderful airplane. Can you teach me how to make it? Now the child starts talking about it. You're bringing out her expression. The child starts talking about it and she tells that this is an aeroplane. So then how she made the aeroplane, and the teacher asks, can I hang it for you? She says, yes, please hang it and write down that it flies like a kite. Here, the teacher is bringing out the expression in the child through an activity, through the creativity. So there, the teacher is very sensitive about what she wants to do, how she is doing. Then next is the use of thinking language. Now here, the teacher brings in lots of hula hoops. As I told you, creativity is not only about art and craft, about anything. What the main attention for you is to make the child learn. So she has brought a lot of a few hula hoops and she puts it in front of the children and asks them, can you think about a way to sort this out? And the children say colors. So she says, okay, it's colors. Then let's sort it out with colors. And she is making the children do it. So they are sorting the hula hoops with colors. Now this is where you have to use the thinking language. You have to ask them, okay, you have now done it. Can you think about any other way? Now, even at home, how you can do it? Instead of hula hoops, you can tell them to bring in different vegetables, different fruits, what you have, or different bottles. And you can ask, okay, we have a few bottles with you. Okay, do you know how we can sort it? There will be big bottles, small bottles. So different types of bottles they can keep it. And you can ask them, can you tell me a way to sort this out? And they will say colors, or they will say shapes, or they will say big and small. Tell them, okay, then let's sort it out. Let them count. Let them sort it out. After that, you can ask them, okay, fine, you have sorted it out. Now, can you tell me another way to sort it out? Do you know any other size other than big and small? So they will say middle, just like in this, we'll say middle size. Okay, let's sort it out again. You can do this not only with hula hoops, you can do it with anything that comes in hand. You can use different items inside the house. You can straws. They might be having straws. They might having color pencils. You can start sorting them with different colors. You can teach children colors by sorting them out. There will be big and small crayons. You can use crayons for them to teaching it. So anything that comes in your hand should be a creative thing to teach the children. We cannot wait for only crepe papers or chart papers or anything that has to be bought in. It will be. For that, yes, we need to think out of the box, what else can we do? The use of questioning. Now let me come to the communication level. Always as teachers, we need to be very, very careful about how we communicate to the children. Now in this, you can see that two children are again making aeroplane and the teacher is coming and she's asking questions. Now she's not asking, what is this? She's asking, that's a wonderful machine you made. Can you tell me more about it? So the children start talking to them about, yes, I made an aeroplane and it goes boom, boom, and I've gone in the aeroplane, he started. Now, let me tell you, you might be thinking, oh, these are children who are talking so nice in English. You can even ask in your language. It's not just English. Okay, because whichever language the child is happy with, the child you have to bring an expression. Before reading and writing, listening and speaking has to be. And these are great ways to bring in speaking, to express themselves. Then the teacher asks, okay, you have gone to the beach. What can you do at the beach? They tell about making sand castles and it disappears because of the water. And then the teacher says, I think we have been talking more about sea. Let's come back to aeroplane. And can anybody tell me, what do you call a man or woman who flies the aeroplane? And the child says it's peel it. Now, look at the answer. The teacher is not saying, no, it's not a peel it, it's a pilot. But how is the teacher communicating? The teacher is communicating. Yes, Ms. Sheena, I think she's there to ask something.
Ms. Sheena?
Yes, Ms. Sheena Epan, she has put her hands up and I can see connecting to audio.
I think maybe by mistake, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
You
So,
can go.
yeah, so communication is very much important when we are talking with children. Rather than here, the teacher says, well done, Amy, it's a pilot. Without correcting her that it is wrong, she tells her the correct answer. And that is how we have to answer the children. Even if they are wrong, we can give them the correct answer rather than telling them, no, you're wrong. Because negative enforcements can bring their emotional well-being down. Then we can also use modeling strategies wherein the children are given computer games. It's about the dots. Now here the teacher asks them, shows everything, and then the children count. And then she asks, how do you know that what you did is correct? And the child says, I counted. So the teacher affirms it or says or gives a positive reinforcement and saying that, yes, you counted and checked. Well done. So that is an affirmation to the child saying that, yes, this is the way we have to do. So there are different types of strategies that we teachers can bring in and speak. We have to be sensitive. We have to give them the use of thinking language. We have to use them the use of questioning. And every time we communicate, it has to always be teaching them something. The next is, if you can see, scaffolding. And then let's go into scaffolding is helping them if they are doing something. For instance, here I've given you, let's come into, because many of the teachers here who are in first and second standard, they would like to know that when they are doing problems in maths, I got a few questions about maths problems. How do we make them do maths? Okay, now, here we can see that there is a scenario where there is a hairdresser's class. Now if we are taking maths during even online sessions, what shall? Okay, what do they have? What we have to find out what exactly is their problem. And that needs a lot of observation. Once you find out what exactly the problem is, then according to that, we should be putting in the questions. Like here, if you can see, their teacher saw that the whole role play was boring. She intervened into it. And she went in and asked the hairdresser, who was playing the hairdresser, what type, because she wanted a hairdress, what type of hairstyle should she have? Then a purposeful dialogue was given by the teacher and the teacher. That is what scaffolding. What is scaffolding? Like you see in the big buildings, they keep a structure around so that it goes straight. Just like that, our intervenience should always be like a scaffolding, helping them out from their problem by giving suggestions, and they need to work on it. For instance, if the children are learning 1 + 1 = 2, or if they are learning addition, for instance, 3 + 2 = 5, you can ask the children, okay, you learned 3 + 2 = 5. Can you tell me any other way to do where the answer comes 5? And you can give them 1 or 2 questions as in a modeling strategy or as in a scaffolding. You can say, I would like to do, for instance, 4 + 1 = 5. And then do you think that if you take away from something, you will get 5? Why don't you try 7 - 2? So it's not only that today you're teaching, after you're teaching addition, or after these type of plays, songs, you can create a few songs telling them what has to be done with. You can teach them songs, and rhymes and songs doesn't have to be what we have heard all the time. We can even use other what to say, other tunes to use that, to use. I will come to it because I'll give you an activity to do. Now, teachers, I've given you so much of presentation, so I will always ask you an activity about it. Then, creative learning experience. Now, after the strategies of scaffolding, we will see there is creating. How do you, now you are going to teach children about I, letter I, and I says it. Bring in something into the class or tell the children to have a dorm, and you can tell them to make, to attach something or show them an igloo. You can always make a craft and show them an igloo. You can tell them, okay, the igloo has done, or you can tell them to bring in a box and how we can make, make it like an art class, and we can make houses. So you can say, we have a house. You know what does the Eskimos have? They have igloos. And then we can talk about igloos. We can talk them. What do you think if you want to name your house as igloo? If you want to write I, how will you write? Let them dip their finger in the paint and write I. Show them how to write I through your technique and let them do it because they are writing in a big space. You can ask them always to keep a straw and you can tell, okay, let's take the straw. See, it's like a standing lamp, the I. And you can keep straws on top and down. Let them do it themselves. It might not be perfect, but at least what you do, they can see and they can do. Now, there are some schools which do videos and send. So in the videos, you can show them how to do I with paint. And you can ask them to do it at home. There are limitations when we are doing online courses, but yes, once they come into offline, there are a lot of things we can do. Then reflection, reflecting on their work. After they do their work, to put it on, let them have, even in their house, let them have a place where they're putting up their artwork, their creativity, and let them explore it. Let all of them see it. Once in a while, you can make a video of all their artwork and send it in their classroom. So they can talk about it. They can think about it. They can see that how others also have done it. These are the things you can do in online. If it's an offline, you can, of course, put it on the walls. And you can ask the children to talk about the works, just like how the child talked about, the teacher made the child talk about the aeroplane before she was going home, and she explained about it. Now, I'm going to give an activity. I'll tell this activity and then I will say thank you and I'm going to come out of the sharing because after that, then we will go into the question and answers. The activity is you have to do an activity where the children learn about vegetables, they do some language, they do some maths, shapes, colors, Malayalam, and even Hindi. So I've given you that these are things we can do with the children, right? Now, as I told you, if I'm going to tell you that this is going to be there, this is, if we do like this activity, you can see. Let me tell you, you will be sticking on to only the activity. But we want, as teachers, we also need to bring out our creativity. And this creativity will move upon to the children. So today I'm going to look, after you've heard all this, after you've seen all this, I'm going to tell you that I want an activity, and I'm sure the teachers will tell me, you can raise your hand and you can tell that how through the activity you will teach the children vegetables, language, math, shape, colors, even the other language, Malayalam and Hindi. Think about it. I'm giving you 1 minute to think about it. By the time I will finish my slide, and then we can meet. So just like how Abdul Kalam sir said, learning gives creativity, creativity leads to thinking, thinking provides knowledge, and knowledge makes you great. So let me tell you, instead of inculcating creativity, if we start teaching them through creativity, that will lead to thinking. And the thinking skills, what happens, they will have a craving, a curiosity to know more. And that leads to knowledge, and that will provide knowledge. And when you have lots of knowledge about what you're doing. Your passion increases. And let me tell you, from teachers teaching from only books, we become educators, learning more and more how to how to help our future generation. With this, I'm stopping my sharing, and then we will talk about the activities and go to the question answers. Thank you. Now, they can put in and they can talk to us about the activity that's still on, like with an activity, how they are going to bring in a language and the theme vegetable and and math skills. You can raise your hand, and ma'am, you can let them talk.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
I think Raji Nair, Sajida, they have raised their hands. You can ask them to unmute. Raji Nair, ma'am, you can ask.
Okay, sir, am I audible, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, so hi, my name is Raji Nair, and I'm from, North India right now, and I'm teaching in a school called Pacific World School. So yeah, so if I have to integrate this particular topic in English and mathematics and all of the rest of the subjects, so I have picked up this word called heart. Okay, so that is the theme, heart and emotions. So the children are going to be learning about heart. So let's imagine that that's a topic in English, and we are telling them various emotions like happy, and how do you feel when you are happy or when you are sad, and yeah, and we can use various puppets for that. We can ask the children to make faces. Like as a teacher, I can show them my own emotions by making different faces. All right, so they are learning this vocabulary called heart and happy, sad, sorrow. So in English, we are giving these vocabulary to the children. Now, if I have to integrate it in mathematics, so again, I'm going to show them the shape of the heart. Right. So for that, we can get a balloon to the class. I can ask the children to get something from their home, and we can have a show and tell activity wherein each child is going to speak about that particular object, who has given it to them, because I think being small children, they would love to show it off to the friends. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And yeah, so that is there. And then if we have to talk about their interpersonal skills, then we can always tell them that how to narrate an experience wherein they have felt happy, or a moment, where they were really unhappy. And they can also, there are some children who don't want to write, they are good in art and craft. So they can draw, and then they can narrate the whole incident to us. So I think this one particular thing can be done in various ways. And also, if I have to talk here about art and craft, ma'am, then I think we can make a big heart. We can give a cutout of the heart, and there then we go to we bring some vegetables, maybe if they want potato, or if they want lady's finger. So depending on what vegetable they like, we can give it to them. We can give some paints to them. They can dip it in the colors, and then they can fill that heart with that. So here the vegetable printing will happen. So in a way, they understand the names of the vegetables also. They have learned the shape heart also, and they will go back home with a lot of vocabulary. And I think we also develop some kind of we are giving a holistic approach to it, because children will start to care each other. They will understand that, yes, I have to make others happy. I should be more considerate, and I shouldn't, I shouldn't be rude to anyone. So I think this will also help in shunning bullying in schools.
Good, very good, Raji, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So are we going to start the activity with, or are you just going to give the activity after you talk with them about heart? Or are you going to start it with the activity with the heart and the vegetable prints?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. So I will start with it. I will start with the activity so that they are going to come to the conclusion that, okay, this is what we have done today. Probably I can enter the class singing a very happy song and a heart in my heart. So let them come out with that. So that there we are going to enhance creative and critical skills.
Great, great. Very good, Raji
Thank
ma'am.
you,
That's
ma'am.
what
Thank
we are
you.
looking into, because we do not first, always we see that we first teach them and then they do it. Instead
Yes.
of that, let them do and then the teaching just goes on, right?
Yes.
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, thank you, Raji ma'am.
Thank you
Anybody
so
else?
much, ma'am.
Sharia ma'am? Sharia ma'am has put, I could not.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
Yes,
you are unmuted. Sharia, ma'am?
yeah. So, good evening, everyone. I hope my voice is audible. And
Yes.
currently, I'm in UAE and I'm working in the Model School Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
So, for that theme, for the vegetables, I would like to start my class with a starter activity, that is scavenger hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I can ask my children to, get any vegetable, like they can choose anything from their refrigerator and they can get it. And any numbers. There's no specific, like only one carrot or one onion, nothing like that. They can get any number of vegetables. And then, I can call any of the student and I can ask her to show the vegetables she's having. Now, for example, imagine a girl, Adina, she's having like 2 cucumbers or 2 onions. Now I can call some other student and I can ask that student to count. Can you tell how many cucumbers Adina is having? Like that.
Okay, great. And then there are, I think she's got stuck.
So I can introduce the concept of math, language.
Yes.
And for EVS, they can, as an activity, they can keep the, for example, bell peppers, they can cut into half, they can dip it in the paint, printing activity, or they can trace the vegetables, something like that. And also for language, I can ask the children, can you tell me which are the vegetables starting with the letter T, like tomatoes, turnips, like that. And we can also do the stories and vegetable related songs and action songs.
Can you please tell an action song
songs
with vegetables? That would be great.
There is an action song, but it starts with la la la, I'm so happy, and then saying all the
okay, no worries. So we
vegetables.
can but let me tell you, we can also make songs. We don't have to always, that's where we have to be really super creative. Songs doesn't have to have the old songs what we have heard. We can even make songs. Like for instance, washing the vegetables. We have to do that. So we can ask them to wash. How did they wash the vegetables? We can teach them, we have to wash the vegetables before we cut it, or we have to use it. And we can make a song on that. Like there are 7 days. So can anybody sing a song? There are 7 days in a week and how we can use it for washing the vegetables. Nanat, Monica, can you help?
I think we have to unmute.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I have unmuted.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So I would like to hear a small rhyme with, washing the vegetables. And you can use any tune. I'm just giving you a tune of 7 days of a week, but you can use any tune of another one, and you can.
Ma'am, can I use my own tune? Like I can make.
Yes. Of course, please.
Just now I made, ma'am. I'll just try for that.
Sure.
Yeah. Carrot and pumpkin, tomatoes, onion. It's fruits. No, it's vegetable salad.
So your activity is going to be vegetable salad? Is it?
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. What about Sajita CS? Yeah, she's here.
Hey,
Ma'am? Yes, ma'am.
ma'am, Sajida from the Elegant Public School, Palakkad. I am a KG teacher, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, I'll do the activity like this. First, I'll end up the class and I'll tell the children that we are going to do a magic today. So they'll be really waiting. And I'll take some ladies' finger because we don't have fridge or something like that in our Kerala. So we have to take everything from home. So I'll take some ladies' finger. Then I show the ladies' finger to the children with some extra actions and all. So they have to. They will eagerly waiting for what ma'am is going to show. Then I'll show to them and I'll ask what color. Then I'll go to each one and I'll tell them to touch. So they'll touch the texture, they'll understand. And after that, I'll cut the lady's finger and I'll differentiate the texture inside and outside. Then I'll give all the, I'll share the lady's finger to all and ask them to count the seeds inside. And I'll tell the next generation, that is, if we want more ladies' finger, we have to plant the seeds so we will get. Then activity that is vegetable print only. In that, I'll show them how to print with paint. So we can tell if you want more friends, you can use more flowers with lady's finger. And then leaves also with that. So if you are alone, we can print only one flower. So if you want to be in a friends group, you can print more flowers in the plant like that. So we can count the number of flowers. That max we can use that. Then by planting, I'll tell this, the seeds are the next generation. So through that EVS we can render. Then sharing and caring, if anybody, some children are not able to do the print properly, we can ask them the smartest to come and help them so they can share and care. And if anybody is having some type of that is different thing, and they can share each other and do the manipulative skills. So we call it as manipulative skills, ma'am. That is why the word I am using.
Okay,
And it's I'm doing, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Sajida, ma'am. Anybody else who would like to give? That was a
Madam,
wonderful.
time is exceeding. Shall we?
Okay. Yeah, we shall. I'll just give them one more point. As said, the activity, we said about vegetables, we're all hooked up to one vegetable or one thing. There are so many things through that activity we need to teach the children. We need to teach the children that there are cooking vegetables, there are uncooked vegetables, what they're used with it. For instance, if you ask the children, let's make a vegetable salad. You can use it for the whole day or for the whole time you're doing. Through that, you can teach them how to cut the vegetables, which is good for their fine motor skills. They can cut it. The pieces can be counted. It has to be in cubes, shape, the different colors of the vegetables. Potatoes and peas are cooked vegetables. They have to be kept because we do not put in both raw vegetables and cooked vegetables together. So it's not only about maths, science, language. It's also about the daily skills, what we have to teach them. And don't, my suggestion is that never keep the activity different from what you're teaching. If you're teaching, try to inculcate the whole idea with the activity and take it to them. And let me tell you, they will learn better. Remember, if we can give a concept of addition and subtraction to a 3 years old or 2.5 to 3.5 year old age group, we can do wonders even with the first and second standard. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, participants. In fact, the discussion part is so interesting that is, beneficial to others as well. If you can send me, if you are interested to take part in discussion like this, we can arrange a session just for panel discussion with 4 or 5, people where you are sharing your experience to others. And now also I would like to request each and every teacher who is teaching in the kindergarten to take care of the accent. That is very important, because the little ones will be catching the accent of the teacher and it will be carrying forth. So very important. Please take care. And I would like to thank each and everyone. Manchula ma'am has tried her best to give you the best, and it was an engaging session. Thank you so much. Over to Shubham ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, sir. On behalf of the team, my sincere thanks to Almighty God for making today's event a grand success. And a special thanks to Mr. Abdul Salam, who made this event every day to happen, I would say, not today or not just this event, every day with every new initiatives. So thanks a ton to him. Today we had a great opportunity listening to Ms. Manjula's knowledge. It has enlightened so many of the educators, including me. I was so much involved in the session. And I thank every one of you present here for adorning the occasion and sharing your ideas openly. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to me so patiently. I know it has exceeded the time, but still, thank you so much. Thank you, Abdul Salam sir, for having me in, and thank you, Shubha ma'am. You've done an excellent job by helping me throughout. So thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am. And I would like to take a question from here, how I can participate in the panel discussion. I would like to tell the participants, if they are interested, to share an area of experience with others in the kindergarten. They can send me a mail with an introduction with what they are going to tell the audience. So definitely we will arrange it. Thank you so much, Shubha ma'am, for a beautiful moderation. And thanks each and everyone, and my teammates, Mr. Arun Mohan, Mr. Sabad from Abu Dhabi Model School, and Mr. Arafat, the technical, the person behind the IT. So thank you, everybody. So Mr. Sabad, we can wind up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.